Retail workers, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you? I destroyed the CEO of the entire chain as a teenager. I was given the opportunity to work at a grocery store at a young age in the small town where I lived. It was basically the only place for a teenager to work in town, so I was lucky to have the job. I never worked past 10:30 p.m., and my boss made sure my work didn't interfere with my school activities. In the beginning, my duties included stocking shelves at night and cleaning the entire store. My boss quickly recognized and rewarded my efforts with even more work. I went from stock boy/cleaner to cashier, and eventually became the evening manager once I graduated high school. My duties as the evening manager included running the store at night, reconciling sales, taking deposits to the bank, and locking up after work. I had a great relationship with my store manager and the regional manager over our area of stores. As many teenagers in the 90s did, I grew out my hair. As my hair was growing longer, my regional manager kindly asked me to keep my hair out of my eyes, using one of the store caps. There were no rules for appearance in the small company, but he wanted me to be as professional and approachable as possible since I was in a position of management. I was more than happy to oblige. In the late 90s, the store was being remodeled. Ownership and C-level folks in the company were coming around more often. Evidently, one of the higher-ups in the company didn't like my appearance, and said something about it to my regional manager. I was a valued employee, and my regional manager made it clear that my appearance was a non-issue. He reminded him that there were no rules against my long hair in the company guidelines. Nevertheless, my regional manager made me aware of the situation, and warned me that this higher-up might be around again and to be on my toes if he said something. A couple weeks later, a woman came back to the store with some paperwork to deliver to the store manager. I had been instructed ahead of time to take the paperwork on her behalf, but she did not know who would be delivering it. I had just cut off my long hair days before, and pierced both ears. The same man from before walked up to the counter where I was checking groceries, and asked for the manager. I told him that I was the manager on duty and I was expecting some paperwork to be delivered. I don't remember the exact words, but they were something like, "You couldn't be in charge. Our company would never put someone that looked like you in charge." I was completely caught off guard, and asked him what he meant. He said that I looked like a girl with my ears pierced, and that there's no place for that here. He said that I had to take off the earrings, but I respectfully defended myself. I told him that there were no rules established for appearance. I had been a model employee for several years, and was entrusted with the store every evening that I worked. He reprimanded me in front of some of our regular customers for talking back to him. He left the paperwork and walked out of the store. I saw him pull out his cell phone to make a call as he was leaving. It was only a few minutes later when my regional manager called the store to talk with me. He wanted to hear my side of the story. He apologized, but told me this guy was hell-bent on making an issue of my appearance. A week went by and I saw that I was scheduled for a Saturday morning. This was unusual since I was the night manager. I arrived for work and the regional manager was there. He talked with me in the office and told me how sorry he was to have to let me go. I asked on what grounds. He replied with insubordination. I was at a loss for words. Even to this day I've never been so much as written up at any place of employment. I told my regional manager that I was going to fight this. He even did me the courtesy of writing the number down for the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, from the poster in the office. I went home, and explained to my dad what was happening. He didn't really want me to pursue the EEOC thing, but I was determined to stand up for myself against the corporate bully. After speaking with someone at the EEOC office, she believed I had a case for wrongful termination. They offered to see me that afternoon. Before driving to Dallas to meet with someone about my case, I decided to give the company a chance to rescind the firing. I really like my job. I love the people at the store, and all the customers.